Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon, not here with Geeky Sparkles. We're going to do an update on the situation with Marvel Rivals, their U.S. studio getting laid off. And China says it's not that big of a deal. But now some people are threatening to boycott the game because of it. So this is an interesting situation. I personally do not believe it's going to have any impact on the game. The game is very popular, but a lot of people were caught off guard, myself included, by the announcement that the entire Seattle team had been laid off despite the insane popularity of the game. Now, why they were laid off, I don't know. There are rumors floating around that China was not happy with maybe the activism angle of this Seattle team, or that these people understood when they took the gig that they were just temporary employees because they were in R&D. I have no idea. But whatever the reason is for their termination, NetEase did put a statement out hours after the fact, which I'm surprised. I didn't expect them to. Like, Chinese companies a lot of times won't address what they consider to be nonsense in the US, but this thing is kind of blown up and all the gaming news outlets are running with it. So yeah, they had to issue a statement. And then we have another article where apparently some people are going to boycott the game in solidarity with the laid off, what was it, like 6 or 8 people from Seattle. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, lots of news in the last like 24 hours, man. Go back and check. We got a bunch of videos we posted last night because there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on going into the new year. So I posted the video yesterday based on the information that we had available, which was the entire Seattle team got gone. And there was an update as everyone, I'm using finger quotes here, kindly pointed out in the comments. There was an update, and I do like to sleep, so I didn't get a chance to record it, but now I'm going to record it. So this, I swear to God, people. We had one guy in the comments who was like, "You need to go edit this video right now and add the update." I'm like, like people on CNN, when they break a story, do they go back in time and like somehow magically update the story? I don't know. Anyway, this is coming from VG247.com. Marvel Rivals U.S. developers laid off despite having helped make a big hit, as NetEase says it's investing more, not less, into the evolution and growth of the game. Well, the game makes a lot of money. The game is doing very, very well, right? That's why I was so surprised they laid anybody off. But again, if it was understood that they were temporary, maybe they understood it was temporary, and they're still pissed about it. You know, it is what it is, right? Publisher says cutting jobs from U.S. Rivals team was a difficult decision designed to optimize development efficiency for the game. So did they have a problem with communication between China and Seattle? Did they have a problem with the people in Seattle, just in general? Was it the expense, which I speculated in the other video might have actually been the expense of having people in Seattle at all, because Seattle is a very expensive city. So this guy from Video Game 24/7 says, despite Marvel Rivals having been about as big a hit as you could hope for since it arrived, publisher NetEase just laid off staff from the U.S. development team. News of the job cuts broke when Rivals devs at NetEase Seattle-based studio began revealing they'd been let go, with the likes of game director Thaddeus Sasser, plus level designers Gary McGee and Jack Burrows posting on LinkedIn about having been laid off. Sasser said, "Yeah, this is such a weird industry. My stellar, talented team just helped deliver an incredibly successful new franchise in Marvel Rivals for NetEase, and we're just laid off." They've issued a statement confirming the layoffs at the U.S. Rival studio have taken place, but it doesn't appear to have shared exact numbers in terms of those affected. But it has confirmed to PC Gamer that Marvel Rivals now has no Seattle-based developers working on it. So it's 100% Chinese, I guess, at this point. The Chinese publisher wrote that the reduction of the Seattle-based team was a difficult decision taken to optimize development efficiency for the game. We appreciate the hard work and dedication of those affected, and we'll be treating them confidentially and respectfully with recognition to their individual contributions. Sounds like a severance package. They said the core development team in China remains fully committed to delivering an exceptional experience. So this is it Stephen Totillo? Here's the statement. Let me see. We'll read the full statement here. When was this? This was yesterday. Warrior 64 had it. So it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. Sorry guys, I wasn't up at 1 o'clock in the morning to record the video. We recently made the difficult decision to adjust Marvel Rivals development team structure for organizational reasons and to optimize development efficiency for the game. This resulted in a reduction of a design team based in Seattle that's part of a larger global design function in support of Marvel Rivals. We appreciate the hard work and dedication of those affected, and we'll be treating them confidentially and respectfully with recognition for their individual contributions. So Sasser was kind of touted, and I don't know his role particularly, but my understanding was he was the director of the game, and it turns out that he was actually the guy in charge of the Seattle studio. Now, how much sway he had over the entire game, I don't know, right? But I know his name had come up multiple times in, the press and on Twitter. So I have no idea. But he doesn't seem real happy about getting laid off. I mean, who would be happy about getting laid off? We want to reassure our fan base that the core development team for Rivals, which continues to be led by lead producer, I am going to botch these names. Is it Wai-Kong Wu, and game creative director, is it Guangyun Chen, and China, remain fully committed to delivering an exceptional experience. We are investing more, not less, into the evolution and growth of the game. We're excited to deliver new superhero characters, maps, features, and content to ensure an engaging live service experience for our worldwide player base. Jake James, who used to write for Clownfish TV, actually, is like, that's weird. And this person says, what's crazy is that the bulk of the money they're making is from American players. So yeah, people are not happy about it. Now so there are two schools of thought here. Some people are like, good, they're getting rid of the wokies in Seattle. I don't know that. Other people are like, they're just trying to save money. They took all the work that these guys did and they're just going to run with it now. Some people said that these guys probably understood that they were temporary. I don't know. But there are some people now that are talking they're going to boycott the game. This person says, yeah, F them, F NetEase. Don't support this type of nonsense. The game did huge numbers. This is bullshit. Marvel Rivals earned around 136 million in just 1 month. And is on track to become one of the biggest live service games ever. This person said, clearly whatever NetEase says doesn't matter. They just don't want to pay them since Americans probably have the highest salary on the dev team. That's probably what it is. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, maximum profit, right? But what's so wild about this situation, just in general, is that there is no job security in gaming. None. Like, you can work on a massive, massive hit and you can still get laid off for reasons. That's what's so bizarre about this. Like, you'd think, regardless of, if politics play into it or whatever, you would think that these guys would have been safe or safer than, say somebody working on Concord or whatever, but like they weren't. They were just like, yep, see ya. According to people who worked in the China office with Thaddeus, he had a big influence in the project and essentially was the main lead that managed to take the game out of development hell. He did work in China too. That is what I heard. Yeah, whether or not that's true, I don't know. I can't confirm. I don't know the guy. But my understanding was he was like the guy who helped bring this game to market. This person said two things. I don't understand how they can say investing more, not less, into the game right after firing an entire studio. Clear focus here. Wait, what do you mean, Steven, by clear focus here? I don't see where in this 2-paragraph full statement they clearly say that. NetEase did the same thing with the entire Visions of Mana team. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Right before the game even officially released, so I don't think it was a difficult decision. It's probably just business as usual for them. It's probably like, we use these people as long as we need them. If they cost too much and we don't have a need for them anymore, regardless, we just get rid of them. So this person said, yeah, I was under the wrong assumption Thaddeus Sasser was the main game director. Another reason why the game credits are important and shouldn't be dismissed by corporations. This person said he was never a game director. He was just embellishing his LinkedIn profile. So that's interesting too. I mean, again, the story I have been hearing for months is this Thaddeus guy, because his name is so unusual, so it stuck out, is that he was actually the guy. and they would do interviews with him and stuff like that. And it was very much a joint American-Chinese venture, but it sounds like that may not have been the case. This guy says it's a small team in Seattle doing support work. Do they have to kill the team? Of course not. But to call it unexplainable is weird or silly. I'm inclined to believe the reason being organizational over money. If it's true that they only had a team of 6 people, can't really be saving too much money there. Yeah, it might be streamlining the process. It might be like, we have to send stuff to the US and then have it come back to China. Wouldn't it be easier and more efficient just to do everything here? I mean, that could be the case too. Chinese companies keep doing these things to foreign developers. They're obviously sending a message. So no is offices for the company. I don't know what it means. Absolute word salad for we can pay 3 of our people to work more shifts and it'll still be cheaper than Americans we're paying for. That's probably true. I mean, let's be honest here. Seattle's not cheap. A lot of these AAA gaming people that are getting laid off have ridiculous salaries. And again, I don't know how much they contributed to the game or not, but just Seattle, California, New York, all these, even Vancouver, not cheap places to set up shop. So here's an article from Bleeding Cool. They said that they issued the statement. They talked about it, and they're like, yes, they laid off the entire Seattle team. But they said people are boycotting. They said the outrage online has many people saying they're no longer going to play the game in some cases, and they're demanding refunds. Isn't it free to play? Which is understandable considering how many unnecessary layoffs have been happening in the gaming industry over the past 2 years. There's going to be a portion of the audience who no longer wish to support a company that laid off its staff, especially with the game that has seen the popularity and success of Marvel Rivals since launch. Time will tell whether or not these layoffs or the fan rejection will impact the game. I don't think it's going to impact the game at all. Most people are not going to know. The only thing that's going to potentially impact the game is if these guys in Seattle were responsible for a lot of the elements that players like, and it becomes obvious after the next few updates that that was the case and the game takes a hit, then yeah, is it possible the Seattle guys knew more about Marvel mythos and the comics and they were able to pull things into the game? Possibly. I don't know. Is it possible that they did all the work that they need to do for the next 2 years? Like they have all the characters laid out and all the maps laid out and all that stuff laid out for the next 2 years, and they're not needed anymore, right? And that's one of the worst things you can do. I'm going to tell you the truth, as somebody who's worked as a contractor, sometimes is getting your work done early. A lot of times can be very detrimental. If you have a contract and they're like, okay, we're going to give you well, not if you have a contract, but you have an understanding, right? And I've had this happen before, like, oh, we're going to hire you for like 6 months, come in, do this, whatever. And then you get your stuff done early or the stuff they need early. They're like, oh, hey, yeah, wow, you did it in 3 months. Okay, bye. So that's like one of the worst things you can do. So I'm like, man, if that was the case, if you guys had all this stuff done ahead of time, you probably should have trickled it out a lot slower. To save your own asses. I'm just saying, some friendly advice here, but they're saying a whole bunch of people are going to boycott. I haven't found it. I mean, there were some comments on Twitter. There's a discussion on Steam. They're talking about, firing, all the creators being fired. It's time to boycott. And this person points out, yeah, they still have main devs in China. They didn't fire all the creators. They had 6 people in America that got gone. I wonder where people's brains are when they say stuff like this. Over on Reddit, and this was a couple months ago, they were like, is it even ethical to play Marvel Rivals because they have a gross Israel adjacent superhero? So yeah, people are going to boycott. Like, look, play it, don't play it. I think the majority of people though are not going to know this happened. The vast majority of people that play this game, considering they're probably a bunch of kids playing this game, they're not going to know. They're not going to know anybody got gone. The only thing they will notice is if the game takes a hit in quality. That's basically it. So will we ever get the full story as to what happened? I don't know. They said they're going to compensate those individuals according to their contributions, which tells me they're probably going to pay them off and shut them up. So I would not expect Thaddeus to come out with a tell-all anytime soon. If he takes a severance package from them, he takes a payout, they'll be like, yeah, you shut up for the next 5 years, right? That's usually part of the deal. That happens often. That's, Marvel especially. Like they got rid of Axel Alonso from Marvel Comics back in, I think it was like 2017, 2018. And he was not allowed to talk about it for years because they probably gave him a decent severance package and said, shut up. Do not tell people why you got gone. Do not tell anybody what's actually going on at Marvel. And some of these, NDAs are like ironclad. Like you're never allowed. You take this money, you're never allowed to speak of this again. And I suspect that's probably what's going to happen. So we probably won't get the full story anytime soon. And again, all players are going to care about is, does it affect the game? Yes or no? And if it does, then yeah, we'll know that these guys actually had a lot more input into it, but can't say that now. So I'm going to wrap this up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.